Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Simba here. Sorry about the late start. Unfortunately, our commentator decided to spit his dummy and leave, so you've got me for the evening. Let's try and catch up on what's going on. I believe we've just had a safety car. So we've got Captain Nibs on the mediums, DRS Neil on the hards, Wookie on the mediums, Airways on the hards. Keza Soze didn't pit, so he's going a little bit backwards at the moment. Strange choice, but I'm sure he's got his reasons. Lando Bot on the hards, Super Striker on the mediums, Stoob on the mediums. Very good showing from himself tonight. Roundy on the hards. Scottish Ninja on the mediums, Murph on the hards, Era Voice on the mediums, Ziad mediums, Eunice, Rob Dog and Chelsea all on the hards. I believe I've also got a bit of a friend in the comms box tonight trying to keep me a little bit company. Good evening, Roundy. Are you still there, bud? Not too bad, a bit unexpected this, but I'm hoping people can hear you. If not, we'll have to set you up for voice sharing for next time. Yeah, apparently we can't hear you. Well, there's not much we can do about that right now, unfortunately. I suppose you'll just have to keep me sane and I'll have to try and relay what's going on. Let's get a link shared. Oh, that buys me a few minutes to get more prepared then. Yeah, trying to set up voice sharing is just not going to happen tonight. It takes a bit of doing, unfortunately. There we go, we've got a link shared. And I will try and bring up a track map so I can get a rough idea of what's going on. So the only person that's out is Dumbest Hornet, so I'm guessing somebody's maybe just... Scottish Ninja's got no front wing, unfortunately. That'll be the reason for the safety car. Yeah, Stoob, Soze, Ziad. Obviously Ninja's coming in because he's missing a sort of crucial piece of carbon fibre. I wonder if he realises it's supposed to be carb on fibre, not carb off fibre. Jeff used to say that on 21. If you played the career mode, he used to say that to you. I think it was Jeff anyway. It was part of the emails you used to get on a weekly basis. Right, low sales circuit track map. That's what I need. So what we got? 16 corners. We have 3.367 miles. Lap record is by Max Verstappen from last year. In real life, we've only had 2 races at this circuit so far, but MotoGP has seen many, many more than that. Who's that that's currently taking a trek into the wall that I've just seen? I believe that may have been Stoob. Not ideal to do, but I suppose under a safety car you can at least catch the pack up again. Doesn't ruin you too much. And maybe a bit of a heating issue with those hards. It's a bit of an odd track, this one, because it's very hard on the tyres, but not easy to get the heat into the hards, apparently. Yeah, like, for those watching at home, Roundy's just said it's very, very hard on fuel as well. Yeah, we're watching a bit of Dumbest Hornet stream before I went live, and I think Stu was saying he started with like 2 laps extra and he was down to 1.2 by the first safety car we had. I've heard people saying you need to go about 3 laps over for this track. Well, the thing is, I think the game sets it up on a mid-basis downforce, but as anybody who races it will know, high downforce is king here. You have to get that front end into the corners or you're going nowhere. And you've only one major straight to worry about. The corners are where you make most of your time. No, they really don't. I get lost on this track. Because it's just like left, right, left, right. Where am I going? Just can't make it up, can you, really? Yeah, I don't think the softs would go to the end, so it's a strange choice from Ziad, who's gone on to the softs. The mediums, for me, seem the best choice from here. If your safety car goes in this lap, you've got 13 laps to survive. But we have got Chelsea about 15 seconds back, so it depends if he gets on the pack. No, it is really pushing it, and it will be a very, very late call. Is it 7 seconds? It may... Nah, safety car's at the pit lane, isn't it? So that's not going to call it right now, so we get another lap. Stuber's just taken the initiative. Oh, he's pitted and quit. Unusual. Not sure why. He seemed to be a middle of the pack. There was a good chance for points there. It is possible maybe his rear wing was damaged or something. If you're watching, obviously give us a shout up, leave us a like, and hopefully by next week we'll be a bit more organised. Looks like I may have to take the comms for the rest of the season just to keep us going. All fun and games this running a league thing. You get a comms and they decide, because league rules weren't followed, they've left. Because we said we had to red flag and restart the race. Well, as you know yourself, we have a rule that after qualifying, we give the drivers a 5-minute break. Just allows people to go to the toilet, get a drink. Unfortunately, somebody pressed start, it went straight into the race, and at least 2 of our drivers weren't present for the start. That's not really fair on them because they are expecting that break. So in that situation, the only thing I feel we can do is to red flag it. We will reset the grid with the qualifying positions. We go straight into the race. It's not much different to having that 5-minute break. Because we have an invites group, throw the invites out quickly, set the grid quickly. The only person doing all the work is the admin. Oh, there we go. Safety car is in this lap. So we will go racing for 12 more laps. Good evening, Mandy. I knew you'd found the stream. I can hear it in the background. Hopefully others have managed to find it. And we don't do... Well, that's not very clever, is it, Zach? You're supposed to warm your tyres, especially as you run 7 lap hards. So Nibs is going to take us away, and I believe he's going... He's gone. Not the most impressive restart there. It's got Wookie crawling all over him, practically pushing him into the Just not enough though. Around the outside there is very, very hard work. Airways stays P3, Lando bot P4, good showing from him. Super Striker P5, that's a very good showing. Especially if he's still on his wheel, because he's only been on it a few weeks. He's seriously been putting in the hours. Yourself round it in P6, good showing there from you. Leading the tier you're in actually. Oh, you was till Murph went past you. Oh, yeah, let's have a quick look. Oh yes, you've lost the left-hand front end plate. That's not going to do you any favours on this track. So that puts Murph into the lead of the Prospects tier with Rob Dog in second. You can just feel that Rob Dog, in, if not this race, in a few races time, is going to take a win. He's improved so much recently. Era Voices down to the back, what happened there? Scottish Ninjas just let him go. Odd choice there, Grant. Unless there's been a little bit of argy-bargy there. Ninja's just gone into the pit lane. And so is yourself. Unfortunately got a penalty for it. Remember, we don't run pit assists in this league. Wookie has taken the lead. Oh, Ninja's retired. Not what I wanted to see. He had such a good race to win me last night as well. Can't say the same for myself, but he had a really good race. I thought it'd put him on a high. And Rob Dog's taken Murph. So Rob Dog now leads the Challenger tier. Can he bring this home for his first win? I mean, he'll have won many times against the computer, but that doesn't count. This is league racing. Different story. Well, he's got Ziad all over him, but he could essentially let Ziad go. It's a bit odd that both Mercedes drivers tonight are actually elite racers, but I think he's just listened to me and let him go. If I know Robbie's got his wife watching and probably giving him feedback on what I'm saying. Believe me, I'll hear all about it in the morning. I'll get to work and I'll get a rundown of how he felt his race went. Era Voice is out. Oh, it's another pit lane. It's not been a good night for some of these guys. Remember guys, you get points just for finishing. Don't matter if you're 3 laps down, you get points for finishing, and the bonus is you do less laps if you're 3 laps down. That's 3 laps less suffering, although nobody's actually lapped, so that point's invalid. So Wookie's in the lead. Lando Bot's got his way up to second and is pushing Wookie around this track. And this is hards versus mediums as well. Lando Bot is on the hards. This is some impressive driving. I mean, I don't know how the mediums are going to feel after 10 laps, but I'd imagine they should still be on point. Although Airways is doing pretty well in P4, he's also on the hards. So the hards are really starting to mix it up with the mediums right now. Ziad in 5th on the softs. Still not convinced on that choice. Super Striker 6th, Rob Dog 7th, who's building a little bit of a gap to Murph. I think the DRS is still in play though, so it's keeping him in touch to some extent. But Murph is now going to be coming under attack from Keza Soze anytime soon. He pops his nose out, sort of says hello, and he's gone back into his box for now. DRS Neil, P10, what world are we living in? This guy is never P10. He's usually top 3 minimum. I can't remember who was on pole, to be fair. Bear with me a second and I will check that. will have a look at that as well. Which one's that under? It is Ziad 124.551 is the fastest lap of the race so far. And yes, Roundy, you were correct. DRS Neil was on pole. 21.042 he did as his qualifying lap. What a stonker that was. Wookie's just picked up a time penalty. Lando Bot's in the lead. It's madness. Let's have a quick look at the penalties actually. So we have 6 seconds for Wookie, 6 for Captain Nibs, 3 for Ziad, 3 for Super Striker, 11 for Rob Dog. Okay, maybe he's not going to take that win after all. Nothing for Kaiser Soze. DRS Neil's got 3, Murph's got 3, Eunice none, Chelsea none, and yourself Roundy 5 seconds. Penalties really do come into play big time here. And I believe we've just had our league manager join the chat. Talk about royalty in the box tonight. You've got the league owner, now the league manager. Good evening, Grant.
Good evening, Mr. Dennison. I wouldn't like to flatter myself so much, but I've got to agree with you there. Oh, you're still with our sweet cheeks, don't worry.
I'm hoping people can hear you, Grant, because unfortunately they can't hear Roundy.
Well, hopefully, mate.
Maybe somebody can let me know in a minute if we can hear Grantish.
Grantish Ninja.
Yep, our fellow Scotsman. Mad as he is.
Just one of those nights. It's not been my night.
Oh, apparently you can be heard.
Oh, good.
So unfortunately Roundy will have to stay in the shadows until we sort out his voice sharing. And then he can join us in the royalty.
The royal box.
Yeah,
Hey.
it is the royal box tonight.
Yeah. I tell you, a wee battle between Lando and Wookie there.
Certainly is. I was actually going to use the BTE comms party, but I realised that a certain sulky draws has still got a party running in there, so I didn't bother.
That was my fault. I went to invite people to the game and invited them to the chat. Next thing you know, bang, 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 6 folk in. Oh, hello.
So what we got going on?
That's
We've
what
got
we do.
Wookie's looking good for at least an on-track win. Lando's looking good for making it back-to-back wins. I knew we were going to be fast because DRS Neil invited him and said he was his friend and former teammate, and they were similar pace. But damn, this guy's quick.
You know, DRS Neil invites someone and he's got to be quick.
Well,
But
DRS Neil also knows Chelsea, and who's obviously the lower tier, but he is getting on the quicker side of it now.
well,
He also trains with Avinash, which explains Avinash's ridiculous pace recently.
Chelsea has vastly improved in his pace.
Yeah,
The last couple of seasons.
all our South African guys do actually practice together.
Yeah.
So
Which
it's
is
good
a good thing.
good to see that spirit and them bringing each other up. DRS Neil
Definitely.
passing the knowledge on, because he is lightning quick.
The thing is, it's like you say, these little tips can make a massive difference. Ziedamar, he's closed the distance between the top two here.
Fortunately, penalties are going to come into play, so he only needs to sit where he is to take P2 off Wookie. I'm guessing Rob Dog's maybe had an issue because he's dropped right down now. Let's go have a quick look further back. He's dropped down and is potentially coming into the clutches of Chelsea anytime soon. Eunice is the one pushing Murph, and now, because of the penalty situation, Murph having 3, Eunice having nothing, there's a good chance Eunice could actually take the prospect tier win here.